All right, welcome back to another amazing episode of the Money Pillow podcast. Today, I am super excited to have a 32-year-old Sonia Gil, and it's actually your birthday today. Happy birthday, Sonia. I've actually got something for you. I'll share with you in just a second.
All right.
Okay, so you are the founder of Fluenz, which is a language learning software. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and this started back in conception was somewhere around 2004, launched 2007, and is doing wildly successful, or twilight successful now. You have a really cool travel channel on YouTube that you document all your travels, and you kind of tie it in pretty well with Fluenz, and I think that was the inspiration for it. But you're kind of becoming you were nominated as the 2012 Web Celebrity of the Year. Is that right?
I wasn't nominated. I won.
Oh, you won! Damn it!
Let's get this straight.
Yeah, and so anyway, all right, well, you know what, real quick, since it is your birthday, I have a present for you. When Lorenzo so kindly booked this interview, I couldn't believe when he told me that it was your birthday, and you were going to do it on your birthday, so I'm super grateful, and I went out and got you a thing or two. And I think you like beer.
So exciting.
Huh? You like beer, right?
I love beer. Who doesn't?
Are you
kidding?
Do you ever enjoy IPAs?
Yes.
Yeah? So this is a local IPA from Santa Barbara called Hoppy Poppy. Yeah. It's a really good one. It's one of my favorites. And while we're on the alcohol theme, you know my wife's from Argentina, so I got you my favorite Argentine wine.
Trapiche. I know it very well.
Do you really?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
good choice. Fantastic.
It's a great one, isn't it? Do you eat meat?
Of course, yes.
Okay,
I do.
It's a really good with steak. Anyway, and I don't know if this looks familiar to you at all.
No, mate.
Sherba.
Claro.
Yeah. Do you drink sherba or mate?
Sure. I mean, now that I have it, I will.
Yeah. I got you two different kinds because I didn't know what you would like.
Perfect.
And the Argentines are very picky about their mate and which brand. It's like Coke versus Pepsi. I got you a little gourd. It's kind of cool, actually.
I love it.
So you're set.
This is I'm glad we're doing this today.
Yes. Happy birthday. And actually, there's one more thing I completely forgot. I was chatting over text right before our interview with a good friend of mine who is the founder of a company called Holoclip. And it's like a little lens that you put on your iPhone that gives you cool fisheye, wide angle, and macro. So here it is. I'm going to be shipping one of these off to you too.
But I'm Samsung.
God. Well,
I'm Android. I gave up Apple, I have to say.
You what?
I gave up Apple.
I can't. Well, you know what? It'll be a good Christmas gift for
there you go.
One of your friends with an Apple phone.
Thank you, though.
So you're welcome. All right. Well, very cool. So let's get on with it. You started Fluenz. You got the concept of the idea back in 2004. Take me back, kind of, I guess, to that day, how this all came about, and.
I will.
Okay.
So it wasn't like one day, I know exactly what and how I'm going to do it. It was more like a combination of events in my life that kind of made me get to that point. So moment one, I took online courses in college. I'm actually a biologist. Go figure. And
I'm a biologist?
I'm a biologist. Yeah, I graduated at Cornell University. So
very cool.
I was in this very prestigious university, whatnot. I took these online courses, and I thought they were horrible, in the sense that it was just like PDFs and chat rooms, and sometimes some video conferencing that was very
Did they use Moodle?
I don't remember.
As a platform. Okay.
It was very obviously. I mean, this was back in the day. I don't know what they look like today, but it just felt like it could be so much more, and I was very dissatisfied with that. So that's little nugget there. Then I graduated, and I decided that I did not want to pursue a career in plant genetics, which is what I majored in. Should have studied something easier, but hey. So I took some time to myself, and I bought several self-learning language programs. I wanted to get back in the groove with my French. And again, I felt woof, there's no way I'm going to learn with this.
Why? Because they were that
terrible.
bad?
They were just really bad.
Yeah.
Or at least for my type of learning. And so right then and there, I said, I can do this. I can do this better, definitely. So I got together with my business partner, whom I had been friends with him forever. We've throughout my studies, we'd had this conversation about digital education, like just philosophizing.
Right.
And so we kind of sat down and we said, you know what, we want to do something in that realm, and languages is somewhere where we can start, because we both had to learn English. English is my second language, so is his. When I've learned French, I've learned other languages. So I've been through the pain, and having bought this software was like a very good awakening.
Sure.
And languages is just something in education where anyone who knows a second language thinks they can teach it. And so it's very poorly taught in general.
There's a lot of competition out there, a lot of people doing this, right?
Back then there was a lot less, but there was still a lot. I mean, there's a lot of very cheap products available. So you can go to, Barnes & Noble and buy a program that says that they're going to teach you all the Spanish in the world for $19.99. And then back then there was Rosetta Stone on the other side of the scale with a much more expensive product. It did not look at all like it does today. It was painful to look at. Painful. And so mainly I very, very systematically set out to create something that would compete with Rosetta Stone.
Got it.
Even though they were huge and like whatever,
right.
My thought was I can create something better than this. I might not know anything about language learning, but I'm going to learn everything that there is to know, and I'm going to create something better than this. And that was the main premise throughout the whole thing. So I moved in with my parents, lived there, and kind of read everything under the sun about linguistics, and I just got really, 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 really into it. I'm kind of obsessive compulsive with new themes.
Right.
And so I had a way to do it. So I moved to China is what happened. So my premise was this: I want to learn a new language from scratch that is very, very different from anything that I can have a reference from, and see what that process is like. And originally I was supposed to be there for, a month, kind of to figure out this problem. But what ended up happening was that when I was in China, and it was first of all, I had to spend the time to go there, spend the money to go there, and I saw all these other people doing the same thing. They took time out of their lives, they somehow got the money to go there. It was expensive, and I saw them paying all this money to be in these Chinese classes that again I just thought they were terrible.
So they were doing this, in other words, the same thing as not in learning or starting a language company, but just going there to learn the language. And
just going there to learn the language. So my appreciation, here I am in a table with 8 other people paying this much money, however much it was.
$2,000 to fly
$2,000 to fly there, to live there, to take the time out of their lives.
With their main objective was just to learn the language.
Just to learn it. For some people for business, some people just because they've always dreamt to speak Chinese and they finally took the time to do it. Just like, you want to speak Spanish and maybe one day you'll finally take the time to go and make it happen. Like there's tons of people like this.
Right.
So I had a little aha moment, like, oh my God, all these people, here's, $30,000 in front of me. And they're clearly not learning because the classes were just written by Chinese people. And so, they think in their own way. Yeah. And I was there, and I'm a pretty smart gal, but I was there for the first 6 hours, and I stepped out of the classroom, and I couldn't say anything. I could not I couldn't do anything. For the first week, I was in there for hours. And how is it possible that I learned how to say engineer, or 1 kilo of cabbage, but I couldn't say, like, give me water, give me coffee, like, where's the cab, like
the things that you want to know how to say. Yeah. So
that was just an aha moment. And what ended up happening is
let me just rewind a little bit. You were going there to learn Chinese with the people.
So I was
with the intention, though, I guess, of.
I wasn't quite sure what my intention was, to be honest. My intention was to understand this process of learning a language. Period.
Okay.
And then kind of go from there, because I knew I wanted to get into languages, and I knew I wanted to get into digital education with languages. I just didn't know exactly how.
Okay.
But being in China was like my eye opener. Like, oh my God, here are all these people that are willing to pay this much money to learn Chinese, and there's nothing out there to really.
I assume the class was pretty expensive too, right?
Yeah. I mean, let's say the class was, maybe $1,500 or something for the package of the thing. And there wasn't only this classroom, there was many other classrooms. And these are the people that actually have the ability to take off their lives and go to China, but there must be more people that can't go to China that want to learn.
Yeah.
So that was just the aha moment. And so what ended up happening is that I, figured out a way, meaning friends and family and whatnot, to stay in China longer. And the whole thought was, screw this. I'm going to start to create a program to teach Mandarin to English speakers. Because all these people are here, and there's more people in the US, and Rosetta Stone is definitely selling a lot of Chinese. And if I can prove that I can teach Mandarin, then I can go into other languages. Because if I can teach Mandarin, then I can teach Spanish. But starting with Spanish, it's a little bit harder because everybody thinks they can teach Spanish.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
So that was kind of the logic behind it.
How far into your trip are you? Is this 1 month, 2 weeks, 3 months?
This is probably like towards the end of it, about a month.
Okay.
So towards the end of it, I had this. It wasn't like all totally and completely conceptualized, but towards the end, I definitely wanted.
The idea was there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. The seed was there. Stay here, learn Mandarin, figure it out, then go back and do something with it.
Got it.
Then throughout the time, it was very clear that it was going to be something digital. Whatever.
Okay.
I'm making it shorter. So I got back, and throughout this knowledge of how I learned Mandarin, which is a whole other story behind it, I pretty much moved. I was living in Shanghai, so I moved from Shanghai to Hangzhou, which is a city a little bit further away and a lot less people to speak with in English. And I hired these girls that I found in a university, and I would write the lessons for them in English, and then they would come back the next day and teach them to me in Mandarin. So through that process, I kind of got to know like what worked, what didn't work, what I was learning that was not necessary at all because I was never using it, like let's say a verb tense.
Hold on, just to back up. Mm-hmm. What do you mean you wrote the lessons in English and then they came back?
Because these girls were not like teachers. They were just girls from college, and which is what I wanted. I wanted somebody who did not have any preconception about how to teach languages at all.
What does that mean, though? You have
like a regular. Imagine somebody who's studying marketing in a university and
no, I get that. But were you looking to learn Mandarin? You were writing what you wanted to learn?
I was writing to them in English what I wanted to learn to say in Mandarin.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay, so you were like, tomorrow I want to learn. Where's the bathroom?
Right.
Can I have
like
a beer?
I would put it up in like little packets. Okay, teach me I want. And then I want to go. I want to eat. I want to buy. Like I would kind of set it up in like these little brackets.
Right.
And see if they would work.
Okay.
And if I could just do brackets, then I could just learn all these brackets and just put them together. And I could kind of like build a puzzle of the language.
Yeah.
I was kind of testing to see if that worked. Like, can I just learn little pieces of it and then just put them together instead of
I love it. Okay.
learning this whole thing. And it turned out that it worked.
It worked. I was just going to ask because I don't, language structure is different. It seems like in every language, and
but that's the whole point. They're not that different.
No,
it's just a matter of like breaking it down from the point of view of English, which is what makes Fluenz particular, is that we teach every language, breaking it down from the point of view of English. So it takes into account the obstacles or what you're going to find difficult. So there are ways to say
this is my biggest challenge with Spanish because the way things are flip-flopped and it's okay. I love it. Keep going.
So that's the whole point. So the whole point here was, if you're going to, and this was another aha moment in the class. Of course, the Korean guy in the classroom was learning a lot faster. I mean, you can't teach him the same that you're teaching me.
Right.
He already has like the structures put together. He already understood a lot of the writing because it's similar. I mean, not that it's the same, but there's a lot of things that you can hold on to. Like, I speak Spanish. If I'm going to learn Italian, it's going to be a lot easier for me than it is going to be for an English speaker.
Sure.
So that was kind of what happened. So I came back with all of this knowledge. It was a big pile of paper. and I wrote out the program exactly how I would have wanted to be taught Mandarin.
Okay.
Exactly to the dot. So I wrote the first...
Were you fairly fluent when you came back?
I mean, not fluent like I am in English, but I can totally handle myself.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
So all the common, regular, everyday things. I would not be able to do this interview in Mandarin.
No. Okay.
But I can... How are you doing today? What am I doing tomorrow? I could do tons of regular things.
Got it. Okay.
So I came back and got together with my partner, who had been supporting me this whole time, figuring out tons of things. And so I sat down and I put this whole thing together and I wrote it out and we designed it how we would want it to be, right? So we want it to have a video component, which is what is very particular about Fluenz. It's you have a tutor, me, talking to you in English about the structures in English. So this is how it works in Mandarin, and then this is how you put it together and whatnot. And so we wrote that out, and then we set out to do the production. So I had to learn about how to film things and how to light things. So if you saw the camera when we first shot Fluenz, it's like this tiny little handy cam. We didn't even have a teleprompter. Was a paper teleprompter. Like it was.
God, yeah.
We had to do it like 5 times. Obviously, when we had the paper teleprompter, like the paper would get into the into the lens.
It would flip
through.
It
was such a disaster. Like we had to film it so many times, but we learned a lot along the way. I learned.
It sounds like you guys were not bootstrapping it per se, but really
100% bootstrapping it. This was all like at my mom's place at night.
In the garage with a green screen up or something.
Oh, God. I mean, like sheets and like cardboard all over to like
I love it.
Take care of the sound. I mean, no sleep for a long time. But we finally got it and it looked really nice. So we filmed the entire thing.
You guys did all the filming and editing and everything? You didn't hire a studio or somebody to come in and do it?
Nope.
No. Okay.
We did absolutely everything. All of the editing, we got a super great guy. Love him. So sad that he had to move on with his life. He was in college and learning how to do After Effects, and he, came in on board, and he was there with us. We were learning together. Like, okay, I want this thing to do this. I want the little word to do this and come in and out. Let's learn it. So we would just kind of sit there and figure it out.
And he'd figure it out with After Effects, and then 30 minutes later you had it happening. Oh,
yep.
That's so cool. Okay.
So we put the whole thing together, and then went out there and found a voice talent to do. Voice talent meaning, I went out there and found anybody who spoke Mandarin, not a very professional voice talent, and we set up a little studio with a microphone like yours, like mine, and I recorded their voices and taught them how to do it correctly so they wouldn't pop their P's or whatnot. I read everything under the sun about how to do it. So we recorded those, and then we had the luck of life to have this amazing, amazing developer guy join the team, which was, love him. He was the one who actually put the whole structure together of Fluenz, which is the one that stands today. It's robust. The thing has lasted forever. I mean, amazing. And he came in young and willing to, be part of the team and just do it for very little. And that's it. We put it together.
And what year was this? What year is this?
So this is 2006. All of 2006 was about producing this.
Like an entire year.
And it took a year because we did everything ourselves, basically.
How quickly could you do it now with the resources what you have now?
With what it still takes, the writing of it takes forever anyway, because we really do deconstruct each language from scratch. The production now, it's a joke. Like we film it in, maybe depends on the talent. So 3 days, maybe one level. and we post-produce it in 3 weeks.
And then plug it into your system and it's done.
And then it just goes into it and it's done.
Wow.
That's just video, though. There's audio, and it's a lot. Each level has...
What are you doing at this time during this year, though, to... Well, I guess you're not paying bills. You're living at home, and you're probably eating at home, right?
Oh, totally. My mom, Jesus. Mom, thank you.
Yeah. Are you working part-time or something?
I'm totally living off of my parents. Like, this is what's happening.
Were you working part-time or something?
Not really. I had some money saved.
Yeah.
I was teaching English.
Okay.
And my parents really helped out. That's true.
Amazing. Okay.
So, you know, I would eat at home, I would sleep at home, and work at night at home.
Right. But so for a year, you guys busted your butts. You found a great developer. You got everything laid out, and then was it like, laid out. All right, now then, we can launch, and we're going to be rich.
Then I thought, like, this is it. There is nothing better than this in the world. Forget it. I'm going to put it out there. Amazon's going to be calling me, begging me for this product. I am going to, like, sit there and just wait. That did not happen.
Yeah, right.
Like, here I am thinking, lesson in life.
You know what, though? I think it's so, I think this is important, though, because I think that, however misguided or uneducated kind of thought process was probably a lot of what drove you through that year and that hard work.
100%. Like,
yeah, so even being naive sometimes is great. You know, I'm fine with it. I get it. So anyway, so you put it out. Amazon didn't call. It wasn't your...
I mean, an Amazon seller didn't exist then, so it wasn't like you could just put up your product anywhere. So we just had our own website selling this product, and, you know, just kind of waited to see what happened.
You hit publish on the website, and nothing happened.
It was like, we turned it on. We did like a little party for the first... I remember, it's January 31st, 2007. I will never forget. We turned it on, and then we just looked to see if anybody would come into the website. Nobody came in.
Sorry,
waiting,
you know. Okay.
But you know, you live and learn. So what happened was now that the product was ready, the next thing was, okay, contact every blogger or person out there and tell them that this thing exists and offer it. Have them try it and hopefully write about it. So then for the next 3 months, my days consisted of searching for bloggers of any sort. Ideally, you wanted, obviously, people in the educational space, but they were harder to get. But I would get anybody, like people that were blogging about their cats. You know, if they had a decent following, that was like, and they looked normal and whatever, like people that would be interested in languages, then I would totally like contact them. And I had these Excels and Excels.
How do you define looking normal?
No, not normal.
I'm kidding.
Totally, like, what am I saying? I didn't mean it that way. I mean, like,
I get it. They weren't,
people that that I thought maybe would be interested in Mandarin, which is a very particular language. So.
And is this a digital product, or are you shipping them actually a physical?
No, this is an actual physical box.
Holy cow. So you must have been doing this, shipping a lot of them, right?
No, at the beginning, nothing at all. We sold one box.
No, I mean, not selling, but were you giving this away to these bloggers, hoping they would?
Yeah, so we were giving it away, but it wasn't like all the bloggers were replying, yes, send it over. That's another thing. Like, you would contact all these people, and out of, 20, you would get 2 replies, and maybe one of them actually ended up sending you their address, and then maybe one of them actually ended up opening the box.
1 out of 20 probably opened it, and yeah.
It took some time, but eventually some of them did open it, and they did start writing about it. And I started posting in, boards, language learning boards, things like that, and just out there.
Right.
Trying to get it to all the people that I knew. That's like, oh, I haven't talked to you from college since years ago. Hi, remember me? Like, I want you to try my product, please. So it started out like that, kind of just reaching out to friends, try it out. Really, I mean, you'll see that it's amazing, bloggers. And then slowly, it's like the first sale came in. This guy from New Jersey, I won't forget, he was I want to say a dentist. And he couldn't pay. We didn't have American Express or something like that. So we said, whatever, pay with a check. And we'll send it to you anyway. We'll send you the bill. Never paid. Our first client never paid.
Wow. How much is the product?
The product today is $498 with the five levels. Back then, Mandarin only had 3 levels, and I believe we started out at $290 or something like that.
It's a box you ship out with DVDs and workbooks?
DVD-ROMs. No, it's a box, and it just has DVDs and an audio CD, so it's like an MP3.
Okay, so it's just the media. There's no workbooks or anything like that?
No, just the user guide, a nice little booklet, and that's it. Everything is totally self-contained.
How did you guys go about figuring out the production of that stuff? Were you in your computer burning this yourself?
No. We did find somebody to burn it for us.
Yeah.
Just, whatever, slow 500 DVDs, burn them out, have them, and then just kind of slowly... Because we knew there was going to be some bugs that would have to be cleaned out and whatnot. Sure. So not a big production for sure.
Okay. So keep moving on.
So then we started slowly but surely. We started selling. We bought. Wait, I'm trying to remember if Google Ads. How did it work back then exactly? Not like it does today. But we did buy a couple of ads there. The whole point of us was position ourselves next to Rosetta Stone. So whenever somebody's thinking, is there an alternative, they would come to us.
Okay.
Or they would find us. So it was kind of trying to rank up in those searches to be able to, if somebody is looking for an alternative, get to us, and they can decide.
But at this point, all you have is Mandarin, right?
At this point, all we have is Mandarin.
Okay. All right.
So we actually start selling some Mandarin. What happened was that the Olympics were in 2008.
Oh, in Beijing, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we added a module for Olympics Mandarin at the end of that, and that helped out us a bit as well for bloggers, for things like that, people that were interested in this.
January 31st, 2007, you launch. You have no sales. The first sale comes in when? February, March? The one that bailed on you.
I want to say March.
Okay, so
I want to say March,
Mr.
and then
D-bag dentist from New Jersey who didn't pay.
New Jersey.
Okay, so then
I should look up that name, and then the next 3 months.
We could shame him right now.
Could totally shame him.
Just kidding.
No, are you kidding me? I take it as an omen. It was a good thing. It was fine.
Who knows? Yeah. Okay.
Maybe you should give away your first sale.
When did the first real sale come in?
No, so then I think for the first 3 months it was just that sale, and then it was just really, really contacting people out there to get the word out there. And then the next 3 months, then people actually did start writing about it. And then, maybe we sold, I don't remember the numbers truthfully, but maybe we sold $25,000 or something.
In the second 3 months?
Yeah.
No way.
It was something like that.
That's like...
which was like...
Yeah, do you remember the first real sale where you saw that your merchant account took a payment?
I don't remember the first real sale. I remember the first guy that didn't pay, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't remember the moment of the first sale. But no, what happened was that after the first three month mark, it just... people were visiting the site. It was we definitely were learning that it wasn't an immediate type of buy. It wasn't something that you would go into the site and buy right away. It was something that you took your time to think about and then came back and finally ended up buying.
Do you guys do retargeting now?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Through Google, but not crazy. We're not spammers at all.
No, but I mean just like display ad retargeting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sure.
We should talk about that afterwards. We've had a lot of good success with Facebook's retargeting.
It's been successful, but not as much
as you'd think.
For us, at least. I don't know. I wish it was a lot more successful.
So you did $25,000 that second 3 months. I mean, I thought you were going to say just a few sales, but after 3 months of no sales, and it sounds like you got a few bloggers, but not a lot to start blogging about. I mean, to me that seems like a pretty good.
No, it was a very good omen. This is good. And then
how are you getting those sales? Was it mainly from the bloggers that you'd done the outreach for?
Yes, mainly from the bloggers, but there was some sort of momentum. Also, back then it was a moment when every single news story had like, oh, China's going to take over the world. Ah, freak out. Like everybody was freaking out about China back then much more than now. It's very apparent. Like the whole Mandarin thing was just very alive.
Right.
So we kind of were able to ride that wave. And the product was amazing. That's the other thing. Like people really, really liked it. And just they were learning, which is very hard to do with Mandarin. So that helped. But what really, really changed everything was Amazon. Once Amazon, we were able to put our product and sell it on Amazon, that really changed things. The great thing about Amazon is the reviews, which really, really helped us out because people started writing, and that was a clear difference.
Sure. So people were saying, like, I tried Rosetta Stone. It was garbage. Fluenz for the win.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes. And that was definitely a turning point. By then, we had started producing Spanish, which was perfect because Spanish is my first language. So it's something that was a lot easier to get done than Mandarin in terms of everything, in terms of production, in terms of finding talent, in terms of...
And so originally you were not thinking about going into Spanish because
no, we were, but the thing about Spanish was that there's so much offer of a variety of products to learn Spanish.
Right.
That competing in there
that's what I meant, not the need. There was competition. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
there was
but
just
now
a
you
lot
have
of
an audience. You've demonstrated you can do this as a platform. Okay, let's try Spanish because it's going to be an easy segue because I already know this. And okay.
Exactly.
Is this this first year as well? Still, is this before?
Yes, this is first year. First year starts production. We start selling Spanish. I start mixing the years. I want to say we start selling Spanish 1 and 2 the first year or the second year. I don't remember completely if it's at the end of the first year or at the beginning of the second year.
Close to that. And
close to that, yes.
Before you get into that, how big of a push was Amazon to sales?
Oh, totally. Like double right away.
Is it, did you guys, I don't know if you remember that first year's revenue. I know you're a little sensitive and we won't talk about current revenues or anything, but do you remember those first year revenues? Was it like 100,000 that year?
I don't remember exactly, and I can't give you the number exactly, but yes, let's say it's around there.
Fair enough.
Maybe even better.
I think it's like $500,000 on your first year. You don't even tell me that.
No, but
okay, like 101,000. We'll settle with that. Okay,
super good, and we were super happy. I mean, are you kidding me? That was amazing.
Yeah, margins got to be pretty high on the product, and I get it. So yeah, this first year, you guys have you moved out of your mom's house yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mom, I love you, but it was great not having to totally depend on you.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you started making decent money.
No, I was still living at my parents for quite a bit after that. Just it was comfortable and okay. It actually turned out to be totally cool to be with my parents for some time. So, and I was totally and completely absorbed with Fluenz then, like.
You weren't even thinking about moving out. You didn't even care.
I wasn't thinking about eating or doing anything. Like it just
you're not
like
bringing boyfriends home or whatever because it's just
not happening.
You're
like
focused.
That was focus, work. I also had a fantastic relationship with the people that I was working with. Loved them. We just hung out and had all-nighters all the time. You know, the classic. And so then we started production with Spanish, and we started selling Spanish as soon as we had it. Spanish levels 1 and 2. And Spanish 1 and 2. Then we did French 1 and 2. So
Wait,
then
was French 1 and 2 second year?
Towards the end of second year.
How did the I'm curious to this. I would think there's a much bigger market. Even there's a lot of competition, a much bigger market for Spanish. So if you
half of our sales is Spanish.
Yeah, I can imagine because if
50% of it, yeah.
Anybody from the U.S. is going to travel outside the country, there's a good chance they're going to a Spanish-speaking country.
And it's not even interesting. Well, we can get into that later. But each one of the language has a very different client.
Right.
And Spanish is one that is just all over the map. Like first of all, there's people that have studied Spanish in high school or college, and they're like, I really should learn it well, or they just want to. Then there's the service industry.
People, yeah.
firefighters, policemen, doctors, nurses, tons of that, social workers.
Oh,
Then
because
there's
they need to
travel.
know it for their jobs. Wow. Yeah.
And it's not even mandatory. They just want to.
Yeah. You know what? In
Fine.
Southern California, it would be helpful to know Spanish oftentimes.
Exactly. Things like that,
Just
for
going
example.
around. Okay, so
So,
second year you launched Spanish. Did it do pretty well?
yes. So second year, we doubled our sales, which was good.
Did it exceed your expectations?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we doubled second year. Then we introduced French. And it was very clear that we learned a couple of things. First, that December was, you would know that already, but still, I mean, it was very, very important in terms of sales. Like, it was just the rank up incredible. So, this first year, we knew that for the second year, we needed to prepare for December, like hardcore and push a lot.
And why is that? Is it because people are buying this as a gift?
As a gift and New Year's resolutions.
Oh, boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
So January was another big month.
Yeah.
New Year's resolutions. So we learned, okay,
In
note
that
to self,
second year.
next year
Yeah.
we got to do much more December, much more resolutions, New Year's resolutions, and just push for that.
Right.
So then we introduced French levels 1 and 2. Then we introduced Italian 1 and 2. And then the next thing that we did in to complete everything, and this is like, we're adding a language per year. And then after we brought in Italian, we started adding more levels to each language. So Spanish was 1 and 2. Now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can, instead of charging 250, you can charge 498 because it's a complete program, and that's, your mathematics change a lot with a product that is, the average ticket sale is $350 to $400. Then the amount of customers you need to make a decent amount of money is just not
lesser.
that many.
Yeah. I love it. Okay.
You can really give them great customer service and just to have a really good, happy customer base, which was
Sure.
our main concern in the beginning. Like, we give out of town like customer service. You want a great restaurant in Paris and you ask us, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. No, you know
like-
what? I think it's so important that I think it's been a large part to my company's success is the same thing, just focusing on the people that really make you successful and making sure they have an amazing experience. So it's
Exactly.
interesting to hear you say that. That's great.
No, and it's been one of the things that we've invested the most of from the beginning, like great customer support people. We never took it out of the office. So it's all people are in the team, within the team, very savvy. Everybody knows at least another language and has gone through that pain, so they can actually
Support the people. Yeah.
right, and
Yeah.
really they know what they're talking about when they talk to a customer. So that was, and then if you go through our reviews in Amazon, you'll see right away that they review not only the product but the customer support, and that brought us up on Amazon as well.
Got it. So you're going into your third year. Second year, you doubled sales.
So we continued doubling sales.
And was the main channel for sales Amazon at this point?
No, so it's actually 60 Amazon, 40
Your own
our
website.
page,
Okay.
more or less.
Okay, keep going.
Maybe more Amazon and then our website. It's been leveling off as the years go by because obviously the brand in itself has more name, but
Sure.
more or less. But Amazon is a very big component. It's also a very big discovery component. People go into Amazon, look for a product, and then maybe decide to buy it outside of Amazon
Go to your
because
website
they
and
want a better
buy it.
service
Yeah.
or whatever. But it's just a great way to find us.
Okay.
And for us, it's the clearest way to position ourselves next to Rosetta Stone because, you look for learn Spanish, their product comes up, our product comes up, and then you see the reviews. And then it depends on what your preference is.
Sure.
It's a completely opposite way of learning.
Okay.
So then, by then, we're buying Google Ads for sure, and learning how that whole world operates.
It's so crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's a constant process, and just to see how the landscape has changed over the years. I mean, our rates were so much lower back then than they are today.
Damn it. Yeah.
Oh, painful. Yeah, but it works. It still works out, and I'm a Google fan. It's an amazing company. What you can do without talking to anyone is incredible. So that really helped, obviously. So even more, we were able to position ourselves next to Rosetta, which for us it's a key thing because they spend so much in advertising that we would never be able to go against them in terms of like
Not yet.
money to money. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you look at their numbers, they don't really make any money profit-wise. Yeah, I mean, they sell a lot, but they're not profitable.
They're just a big job warehouse. They just create a bunch of jobs.
Yeah, which is, I mean, good. They create a whole bunch of jobs.
Are they a publicly traded company or something?
They are.
They are. So that's all released.
It's all released out there to the public.
Wow.
They just, they spend a lot of money in advertising. So, but to us, that's great. The more they spend, the more there's awareness to learn language. I get it. And then the more that some people are going to look for an alternative. Most of them won't even look for an alternative. They just go straight to Rosetta. But the few people that are...
so much advertising that there are a lot of low-hanging people that just come your way. I get it.
And people that question it or that just want to really think about how it is that they're learning or not learning.
Right.
So that's a big part of our livelihood. The more Rosetta advertises, the better for us. If Rosetta disappears tomorrow, well, great. Then we're the only player. Fantastic.
Do you see them go through periods of heavy advertising and then lesser and then direct influx?
Like right now, they were just closing their numbers. That they were pumping it like crazy. They just closed their quarter, I think, yesterday.
And so do you see unusual spikes in sales?
In us, no, but I see unusual spikes in their emailing. They'll send you like 10 emails a day.
I get it, yeah. But you don't get you don't see that ancillary effect of...
No, not necessarily, because what they do is they lower their prices or they offer, they want to pump up those numbers. So I don't necessarily...
I hope to never...
It's a game. It's a bit of a game, but
yeah.
I mean, we've been able to stay strong. Our product is solid, and we stick to our base, we stick to our price, and we kind of just keep going and keep our head on high.
So you're let's go back to
year
3.
So it's 2000. We're at 2007, 2008, 2009. Yeah, so 2009.
You've got Mandarin.
I want to say that we've got Mandarin, Spanish, Italian, and French by the end of 2009, just levels 1 and 2.
Okay.
Then 2010, we add more levels. Levels
to
3, 4, 5 to all of them.
Okay. Then, and then that was a big increase in number. Did you double
definitely.
Again in 2009?
Yes.
You did?
Yes. Then
same for 2010?
Same for 2010.
Jesus, you're killing it. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was great. It was fantastic. Then we added German to
what a hard language.
Oh, it took forever to write. It was so difficult.
Yeah.
And then, the big crisis hit. When that happened, we were like, now what's going to happen? People are going to stop buying their languages. Thankfully, we survived and we were totally okay. But
when that was 2010?
That's 2010. So 2007, 2008, 2009, then that's 2010. Were we there yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So
and you guys are doubling every year up to 2010.
That year we did double.
Right.
That year we increased quite a bit. Can't remember exactly how much, but we definitely didn't double, but we went above water, which was fantastic. Thankfully, everything stayed. And as we add more languages, I mean, it just bumps up your income right away.
You have another channel, yeah.
Yes. So, and the greatest thing about it is that the content is evergreen. You create it, and it's...
I love your model. I mean, we were talking about this before we started taping, and with my business, I faced the challenge of having to redo content because things change so much, and yours is just put it out. I guess the only reason you probably want to redo it is just to improve it or something, but...
Yeah. I mean, like right now, I'm going to start redoing a lot of them, but it's purely
Why? Because when you filmed the videos, you had like 80s hair and
totally. First of all, and so there wasn't even HD. Like, you couldn't get an HD camera. So like, I think it's time to. We have the team in place. It's very.
Some of them are still not in HD.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
And it hasn't affected sales or feedback or customer experience.
It looks fantastic anyway. I mean, It really doesn't. It looks fine, but I think we have the time, we have the means, we have the team. So
tell me for a second about that. How big is your team? You have a business partner.
Yeah. So my team is actually, because we continue adding more product, the team is actually, we're about 20 people.
In an office or remote or?
We are, so there's chunks of people in places. So all of my content team, which is the people that I write stuff with, are in Barcelona.
Okay.
Then all of the After Effects people, all of the video people are in Buenos Aires.
Oh, really?
In Argentina, yeah. And then we're in Miami. So, and then there's a few people here and there that are kind of all over the place. But those are the main hubs.
Just from a personal standpoint, I'm curious. Your teams in Buenos Aires and Spain, are these like part-time things where it's like, okay, we got some work this month, or is it full-time going on?
No, those are full-time.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you guys are doing that much work with the After Effects stuff that you need them?
We do, because we're like, right now we're about to launch Portuguese. So we've never stopped a production in a language. We are always.
So you're always got them going. Okay.
I mean,
so how many languages? I mean, let's just fast forward to today. For the most part, you got roughly a team of 20. You're doing revenues. What did you tell me earlier? 35 million.
Yeah, look,
I'm just kidding, Sonia. Sonia told me before she's a pretty personal person, and we'll talk about this in a minute. You're a bit of a web celebrity, so you get strange people doing strange things. So we'll keep that private. But you guys are doing really well. Team of 20. Well. How many languages now?
So we have 2 Spanishes, Spanish for Latin America and Spanish from Spain, even though it's the same, it's a different accent.
Sure.
Mandarin. We're just adding Portuguese.
And hold on, if Spanish for Buenos Aires or for Argentina, that would be the Spain one or the Latin American one?
No, that's the Latin American one,
Is
even
it?
though you guys have a different accent. But we do a very neutral accent for Latin America, which is like what you see in CNN Spanish.
Yeah, it's horrible.
But for Spain, it's like they have their own CNN.
Their own dialect, yeah. Okay,
yeah.
So keep going.
So 2 Spanishes, and they actually both do really well. German, Mandarin, Italian, French, and we're coming soon with Portuguese.
So what is that, 8 languages?
7.
7? Mm-hmm. Okay. So
It
now
takes a while to get them done.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I'm just out of curiosity, you probably know this number, or maybe you don't, but of those 7 languages, what does that represent? Like 99% of the world as far as language? Because Portuguese is really only spoken in what, Brazil and Portugal?
Brazil, Portugal, and then there's a couple little islands here and there. But I mean, really, the one that is to me the most mesmerizing and why people learn it is Italian, because I love it and it's fantastic and it's beautiful, but it's only spoken in Italy.
In Italy, yeah.
And it's not like Italy is the hub for business in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
there's some travel too, but
fashion and travel.
How do those sales compare overall? They represent 5% or
No,
like an equal sliver?
I mean, a lot of people want to speak Italian. It's such a beautiful language that doesn't matter if that's the whole point about language learning, is that it really doesn't matter if it's useful or not. In the end, people that invest into this, it's more about this desire.
A lot of them just have an inner burning desire to learn the language of, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. So, and I would imagine with the World Cup coming next year.
That's why Portuguese.
Yeah. Is that your motivation to push that out now?
I mean, first of all, personal motivation, because I think it's beautiful. And I really wanted to like get my hands into the Portuguese. So I got to do that. And then second of all, we have, the World Cup and the Olympics coming up in Brazil.
The Olympics I forgot about that.
It's a double whammy. Yes.
Yeah.
Team.
Did they do that with no, they didn't with the last World Cup. It was in
no.
It was different.
No. This doesn't really happen that often at all.
Yeah. Okay. I just got an interesting text. All right. So, side note. Sorry.
So now we have all these languages.
Yeah.
And we have, I have a great team, and we continue to add product, and we will continue to as long as it makes sense. And we have already, everybody already knows what they're doing, so it just kind of is possible. I don't think we'll add all the languages in the world. We will at some point call it off, and then we'll see.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's probably a lot of languages that people just, it's not a large.
I mean, Rosetta has 30 languages.
30. Wow.
It's like the whole long tail thing. It's more like for us, it's so complicated to. Their whole model is they have one script, right? And that's the same script they use for every single language, and you only see things in the language. So basically, they just grab somebody who speaks, Danish, and they make them read this whole thing, and then they use the same images for everything. In terms of production, it's just, it's brilliant in terms of productions. It's very easy to do.
Right.
For us,
but it's kind of flat from a learning perspective, and probably a big differentiator in what you guys have.
It's very difficult to learn like that. I'm sure that some people are more auditory and they're able to learn like that. I need explanations. Like, I need to know why things are happening, or my frustration level will make me quit immediately.
Right. No, I get it. Okay. So let's let me just kind of summarize this up, wrap up. You guys have, I think it was 8 languages, right? Or was it 7?
7.
Portuguese make it 8, is that right?
No.
Or is that 7?
Well, Japanese will make it 8 whenever we have it. Oh, I'm kind of scared of that one. But
that could be a tough one too, yeah. All right, so 7 now, and plans for Japanese in the near future. Things are going really well. You have a team of 20, and it is fair to say you guys do sales 24 hours a day, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yes.
So while you sleep, you're doing well.
Yes, it's a machine.
Let's talk about what this has done for you from a business perspective. We talked earlier. You told me you spent roughly 20 hours a week actually working on activities in the business, and we kind of joked because I think as any entrepreneur with any business, you spend a lot more than that just thinking about things. So you can be on the golf course, you can be doing whatever, and you're still thinking about business, which is fine. That's your passion, and it's exciting to you. Why not occupy your brain with those thoughts? So. But roughly about 20 hours of work. And then you also now are doing, we mentioned earlier that you were recognized as the Web Celebrity of the Year by the Webby Awards for 2012. And that came from doing a travel show, which was kind of a tie-in to Fluenz, where you were traveling to the locations where the languages are being spoken. And then doing, I saw a couple videos, and it was like, all right, when you go to Paris, come here and check this out, go and do this. And they were more just kind of like guides to traveling. Well, I don't know. You can tell me what you do.
No, you got it. You did pretty well.
I did. Okay, good. But
yeah, the concept behind the show is, sorry, that's Macho, my faithful companion. The concept. So the reason I started the whole show to begin with was because I wanted an in on the digital video realm. I could see, I've been following YouTube for a long time, and YouTubers, and just the interest in digital video and digital TV and that whole world. And, I love video production. We do it all the time for Fluenz, so it was just something that was interesting to me. That was nugget 1. Okay. Then I tried travel a lot for Fluenz because I either, Barcelona is one of my hubs, so I go there quite a bit. And then whenever we are doing a new language, I was in Germany for a couple of months when we were doing German, so it's something that is very common for me.
Sure.
So I figured, I'm already traveling. There isn't a great travel show or YouTuber at all, or at least nothing of good quality. And I know how to shoot videos, so I'm going to start a show. And if it does well on its own, fantastic. And if not, I have all of these fantastic videos of locations where, my users for Fluenz, they're learning German. I could always, do something with these videos that I shoot in Berlin for my users. So at least you get to see Berlin, or you get to see it.
Here's how you hail a cab. Yeah.
or something. At least. If your dream is learning French, at least you get to see a little bit of Paris, and
sure.
that's got to give you some motivation. So that was the thinking behind it, and we started doing this show. The other side note about it is that my partners, the Fluenz partner, wife, she's my really, really good friend, love her. And she is a movie director. And she's a fantastic, she just has this, I don't know how to feel it, this feeling that she just is really able to convey through her work. So we got together, it's like, listen, I want to do this thing. Do you want to do this with me? And so she is really the one that's behind the camera. I mean, I do a lot of the camera myself, but she's with me along the way quite a bit. So that's why I am able to go to, say, Barcelona for my business trips, and then I just stay for 2 or 3 more days. And because I have Mariana, we're able to shoot quite a bit of content, and I'm able to get quite a bit of shows from that.
Oh,
I only
great.
post once a week, so that's just 52 shows that I need.
Just 52, jeez. Yeah, no, I get
Right,
it.
but I mean, if you think about it, in one day I can do 5 or 6. So,
yeah, no problem.
Give me 3 days in Paris, and I'll have 15.
So you're done for 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of how it started. We really got into it and love it, and it's just so fun. It's just so fun to do. And then it just kind of, it was, again, same thing happened again. It's like, oh, this show is so amazing. I'm going to upload on YouTube and forget it. Everybody's going to watch it. Did not happen. So it was slow. It took some time.
Because you had no real audience prior to going into that, huh?
For YouTube, no, not at all. And I didn't want to bombard my Fluenz people with this. So I wanted it to start on its own.
When you say your Fluenz people, as in the customers that you have emails
Right. I didn't want to bombard all of my customer base with emails like watch me in Paris today or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually it would get to connect, but not pushing it. It would just be through, whether it's because in the software we're going to pop up some videos, or just have a place for it in the Fluenz community where people can go into it, but not forcefully push it. And we want
I get it. Do you have did you guys ever do with your channel or with Fluenz teaser lessons, 5-10 minute lessons?
We do. We have a full-fledged demo. You can access the first 3 lessons on our website.
On your website?
And on YouTube. So on YouTube we have the videos, but you obviously don't get to do the exercises there. Sure. But on our website, then you go from there to our website, and you can actually do the whole interactive thing, and that helps quite a bit.
Do you see traffic coming from that?
More now than before. Nothing that is too substantial.
No. Do you guys rank high for those keywords? Do you know?
We do quite well. It's just, if you're gonna buy a $500 product, chances are your user's not gonna come from YouTube. Some of them might, but it's not something that I would switch my focus on and go in there to sell Fluenz. The whole YouTube platform is interesting for me because I can use the platform, and then I syndicate my content to other venues, and then that's how other people see me, and then they get to know me, and then they get to Fluenz, and it's a different situation. But in terms of
I didn't mean on the Sonia Travels channel. I meant on this Fluenz has its own YouTube channel. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure, we get some, but it's not something substantial.
Because I hear stories. We had a guy on earlier this year who, again, it's a low price product, so maybe this is the big differentiator, but does almost 100% of his sales from YouTube videos. That he just has 3 videos out there that drive in $10,000 a month in profit for a product that he has, and yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, he literally said he works 10 minutes a week just taking money out of PayPal and putting it in his bank account.
That's fantastic. That's not the case of mine.
No, I get it.
That's not the lesson.
No, you guys, you know what? You're driven, and you're building something pretty amazing. And I just wonder, what's the end game, for you? Is it get to 30 languages, 20 languages, or just keep doing what you're doing? Or have you ever thought about it?
I do. I mean, I think about it why am I doing all of this? But I like being able to contribute. I mean, I know this sounds kind of whatever it sounds like, but being able to contribute to the world something that is actually helping people.
I love it. Yeah.
And I
strongly believe that your learning style It
Oh my God.
is so superior that it makes it easier for people to truly learn and gain
I
that.
was looking at videos today. So I always connect with my people, my users, and then just, hi, everyone, whoever wants to send me a video, send it over, and I'll send you feedback. I was looking at all these videos this morning of people like speaking to me in Italian or French. It's just like, whoa, how did you do it to sit in front of a computer for, 150 lessons?
Oh, that's so cool.
And
Yeah.
they're like speaking. It's amazing. And like this is something that we're doing to actually show it to people, but incredible, like incredible.
Oh,
So it
that's so
feels
cool.
really good. And then through the travel thing, it's also kind of the same thing. Like I love to travel, and I love to travel in a certain way, and it's so hard for me to find resources that show me what to do. That the types of things that I like to do, I have to spend so many hours figuring things out that I
Researching it,
figure like if you kind of like to do the same kind of things that I like to do, then my channel is a great way to figure them out.
Yeah. No, I love it.
So it's kind of, in a way, it's super similar. And I think my end game is to continue, hopefully, to be able to continue to create businesses that allow me to create these experiences for other people.
Do you have, are you guys working on anything, or are you personally working on anything outside of Fluenz and the travel?
So actually, we just launched a partnership with Lonely Planet. I don't know if you know that brand. It's actually a really, really big travel guide brand.
Right. They're the one that produces the little guidebooks, right?
Yeah, Little Blue.
Yeah.
They're super well known. So we have a partnership with them, and we're actually their official language provider. And we created an entire program that is just for travelers. It's like Fluent-ish, but concentrated, so that your
Sure.
lessons are much shorter. It's actually first we started with Spanish. And it's called Fluent Road. So that's one way how like travel thing and the language thing is together, and we're able to. So it's separate from Fluence. It's its own brand.
Right.
So it's Lonely Planet, Fluent Road, and we're just 50-50 with that. And we just launched that, so I'm super excited about that.
How's that going?
It's slow, but it's great. I
Yeah.
mean, that's something that we totally just sit back.
Are they handling all the support and fulfillment and everything?
No, we're handling everything, but
Well, then what do you mean you sit back?
nobody needs anything. Nobody needs any support. It's like,
No?
whoa, what is going on? Yeah,
Why do you think that is?
people really like it. We get positive feedback, but we get no complaints.
No questions.
No questions. I mean, apparently we must have done the most amazing navigational. I mean, I don't even know, because I thought I was waiting for like people being confused about things, but so far all we do is go to PayPal and like switch it over.
That's so great.
No, it's good. It's
So you
good.
have that partnership you launched with them, and that's going
We
well.
have that partnership that we launched with them, and I just did a whole travel series for the Scripps Network. They're the ones that own like Travel Channel and Food Network and whatnot, and they just launched a new their new online Hulu type situation where they're going to leverage all of their library and put it through there, and they're hiring like new original shows, and I'm one of them. So that's launching. It just launched, but officially that portal is called YouLive. It's launching in October, so you should see some
Is
of
it
that around.
web?
Yeah, it's web, but it's really cool. So
You
it's
said, but it's really cool. No, I just wondered where to find it.
No, web. Yeah, but
called
sometimes
YouLive?
it's called YouLive, but sometimes it's funny. Well, obviously you wouldn't have that reaction, but tell my family like, oh, the Travel Channel, we're doing this thing, but it's on their web. Oh, it's web. Really? Still? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's called youlive.com, and my show is called Almost Free.
Almost
Look at
free. If anybody's listening, we'll link this on the website to go check it out. And what is it? A weekly show? Daily show?
It's 6 episodes.
Okay.
It's the first bunch of 6 episodes, and I show you how to do Miami. Not too expensive, but really, really cool.
Okay. And is it all Miami? The first 6 episodes?
The first series is Miami, and we're figuring out to see how it goes from there. So watch it. Everybody click on it so that we can build
Get a
it.
second series out of it. Yeah. All right. Very cool. And then, all right. So just 2 things. I know you have to go, and It's your
unfortunately.
birthday, and I don't know if you guys have been hearing the whistling in the background of I think it's your text messages going off, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap this up real quick. Two things. What drives you? Obviously you're super driven as an entrepreneur. Where does that come from?
You know what it is like intense dissatisfaction for things that I don't like, and I have this need to just fix it. That's really what it is.
And that was the angle with Fluenz
and that's the thing with the travel thing, and whatever the next thing is going to be, it's going to be because it's just like, I need something better. So I just build it for myself.
That's so funny. Yeah. Okay. And so next question, are there any influential, I know you've done a lot of reading with languages and linguistics and books, any influential business books that you've read that?
Oh my God. Good to Great, the greatest book ever.
Got that one.
I don't
That's
know. I read it every couple of years. Fantastic. Customer evangelism. It's an oldie, but it's a good one. I keep it around all the time. There's a branding book called Mind the Gap. It's a really short, kind of very pictorial book, but
Mind the Gap, you said?
Mind the Gap. I don't know.
Have you read Steve Jobs' bio?
I did. I did. I really enjoyed it.
It's interesting you mentioned like a lot of what drives you is fixing things. I think that was a lot of what inspired him, was just to make better experiences and then create amazing
Except
things.
I'm really, really nice to work with.
Compared to him, right? Yeah.
But that was a really great, yes, I love that book. Very inspirational, for sure.
For sure. All right,
Wow,
so that's good.
I could go on forever. Like,
all right, give me one more. Give me one more.
Let me read let me tell you a recent one I read. What's it called?
You haven't read any books recently.
No, I have. I do all the time. But I'm trying to
Honestly,
think about.
I read like 2 a year. It seems
Really?
Like I buy probably 5 and then read 2. Yeah.
Well, no, the thing is, like, I've been reading all these books about language learning. So,
Yeah.
I find those very interesting, but I'm sure nobody's going to care about those. So, Word by Word is the one that I'm reading now, and it's all about second language acquisitions and just all these theories that have been tested through the years, and then really the bottom line is that nobody knows anything. So I'm like, oh, great! I was looking for an answer.
Dispels the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the story. So, that's been really influential lately, just to think about things that I'm going to address with my users. But
all right, well, that's very cool. Well, listen, I'll let you go because I know it's your birthday, and we'll wrap up here. Sonia's Travels is the YouTube channel if people want to connect with you. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah,
Sonia's Travels. Well, my website is it's a good way to figure everything out about me. Just soniagil.com, G-I-L, G as in go.
Do you have links to like fan page, Instagram, all that stuff?
Everything is in there.
YouTube, yeah.
It'll be a lot easier through there.
Okay, cool. I will put, if you guys are listening, I will put that on the website over at themoneypillow.com and put links to all that stuff there. Gosh, I don't even know how to wrap this up, but I guess just huge thanks, for coming on. It's going to be pretty interesting. I want to hear. I'd love to check back in with you in a year or so and just kind of see how the Portuguese deal went down and if you've done Japanese yet and what's changed. I think you're in an interesting time just with your just the whole Sonia Travels thing. It surprises me that you don't get, with as good as the production it is and everything and winning the Webby, that you don't get more traction than you do. I see a lot of awful YouTube celebrities, not awful, but just the content's half as good, the whatever, and you get millions of views every video, and I'm like,
but it's that has an answer, and YouTube is and I see it because I see the videos that have, at least for me, that have more. I know what I need to do to get more views within YouTube, but that's not necessarily going to help me in the type of branding that I want. So, it's a conundrum in there, and YouTube is
right, because with the type of branding you want, I'm sure social proof is important, and to see that somebody has a lot of views, it makes a difference, right?
Yes and no, but it doesn't. The bottom line is that it depends on what you want to do, of course, but views for views' sake, if all my viewers are
I get that.
15 or whatever, it doesn't. It doesn't really do anything. But whereas, even though I don't have millions of viewers, my viewers are older, which is rare to find in YouTube, but really good in terms of like brands and tons of, I mean, there are tons of things that I do with brands that is amazing.
Yeah.
Older and more affluent. And that's,
That's
it's
key.
concentrated, but it's key.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
actually able to do quite a bit with just
what you've got.
not that many viewers, but concentrated and faithful. So
Yeah, no, but I brought that up because I feel like you're kind of at like even though you've already won the Webby and everything, I feel like in a year from now you'll look back and, or I'll look back anyway and see what's happened. I feel like you're about to skyrocket or take off. So
okay.
well, no, I've seen it probably 8 different times over the last 5 years with people on YouTube. I don't want to say YouTube celebrities, because that's not your angle, your goal, but anyway.
I mean, I'm not complaining if it becomes this crazy thing within YouTube. Of course not. But that's why I think it's like the way it is.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be interesting to see, though, how that ends up impacting Fluenz, and then from a professional perspective, how you end up going. But again, anyway, all right, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This was so much fun.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that's why you scheduled it on your birthday.
No, you're kidding. I mean, if anything, like working in my birthday is like what makes sense. So it's fantastic.
Oh,
and I hope I've been
appreciate it.
somewhat helpful to people out there, and that this kind of inspires people to do what they want to do.
I mean, I love your story. It's authentic.
You can
it's
do
true.
it. Everything is really, truly possible. It's just, it takes time and work, but
Yeah, well, you graduated, didn't know what you wanted to do, and then you just saw some things you wanted to fix, and one thing led another, and here we are. So, awesome. All right, Sonia, well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you.
thanks. And I'll be waiting for my gifts.
I got to, here, we'll hang up in a minute, and I'll get that stuff.
All right. Have a great day.
All right, we'll see you.